one, and we're alive.
Ben Simmons is having back surgery tomorrow, guys.
Oh my God, here we go.
It's
So
about
it sounds
time.
like you should have been did that.
Should have did that as soon as you found out you had a back issue.
Mm-hmm. My fault.
See, now imagine that you get traded, then you get the surgery. Nobody hates you. Nobody hates
Except for
It'll
Philly fans, they still hate him.
you. Yeah.
Well, who cares? Who cares about
It'll
that?
be temporary hate. All right, we got him. We just wait till next year. We'll be some trash this year. We get Ben next year. Nope. You can't underestimate yourself, man. And these back injuries.
I don't want to hear it, y'all.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it no more either. These
Yeah.
athletes too stupid, man. Just go to the doctor, man.
Could have been simple.
Go to the doctor. Stop trying to be a hero. Do all this other stuff, man. Go to the doctor.
You know how athletes feel, man. They feel like they got to be warriors out there.
Man, take your vitamins, y'all.
You don't think Ben Simmons take vitamins?
Obviously,
he ain't taking the Flintstones enough, yo.
mm-hmm. Boy ain't eating his Wheaties. He ain't taking his vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't drinking his OJ. He ain't getting his milk. He not drinking enough milk. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Said his bones not strong.
I'll tell you one thing. It all starts from the bones and the marrow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It all starts right there. That's where you get your real protein from. That's what I don't teach you in school, bro. Let me tell you something.
Hey, listen, boy. Boy got a point now.
Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, bro.
Here to tell y'all about the excellence in Matt Carolina.
Please don't be disgusted.
My bad.
Be it a lot disgusting. Be more disgusting than disgusting that you were a day ago. 2% better every day, right? And that's what they say.
I beg your pardon, brother.
I ain't never heard nobody say that. Who told you that?
2% every day? No.
So at 50 days, you're going to be 100% better. Is what you're saying.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You will be twice the man that you were in 50 days if you put in the work to put in 2% better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So how much work I got to get myself into to get 2%?
Do I look like you? I don't know your gauges. I don't know what level you on. I don't know how much XP points you need, bro. Like that's your
is at a high level.
That's your journey.
You the one here with the jargons and shit.
Hey, bro, I'm just telling you how it
is.
is.
Probably saw that on a plaque somewhere.
Listen, I could lead the horse to water, but I can't make it drink. Okay. That's what I'm doing with you. I can't make you drink.
That's enough for
I'm giving you the recipes. I can't make you cook. You know what I'm saying?
That's enough for you today, brother. Enough analogies and shit from you.
Done. You're done,
brother.
Hey, bro. Nah, hold on. I gotta clip that. Let's go.
That's disgusting.
I gotta clip that. That's going on the page, yo.
Not on my watch.
You gonna delete it, bro?
I'm like, somebody take me out this damn group. It's gonna be 2-way deal.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Bro, it's disgusting.
I hope y'all have fun because I'm taking the YouTube channel with me and the Twitter page.
That's okay. Don still got the Playmakers channel. We're just gonna be the playmaking
two-way playmakers.
Yeah.
The one I promised a whole bunch of playmaker stuff ain't do a damn thing yet.
Sound like a 2K archetype, the two-way playmakers.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
we defenders. We the Kawhi Leonards, the Paul Georges of the podcast game.
That's true. The injury, the
I can be injured if you want, man. I'm still getting paid regardless.
The load managing niggas, y'all want to be them?
Paul George don't load man. It's just Kawhi. Paul George just get hurt.
Boy just got bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
just like me.
No, you just different. You ain't got bad luck. You just bad. You like a Damian Lillard type guy.
Just make terrible decisions for your future, huh?
Mm-hmm. You ain't want to cheat the grind, so you stayed in Portland. And now you suffering with Anthony Simons. So good luck.
Hey man, he's a good player.
Yeah, Simons, he's nice now. He's no Austin Reeves, but yeah, he's nice.
Oh, now you can full on disgusting.
Hillbilly Kobe, that's what they call him. That's what they call him, man. What is Drew talking about in the comments? The playmaking wombats? Do y'all see y'all?
May the 4th be with you too, Drew. Yeah.
No, I just don't mind him, yo. He's a menace to society. I hate Drew.
This is an all-around terrible human being.
Mm-hmm.
I like Drew. He's a guy.
Just a bad person, man.
I like
someone you don't want to bring to your daughter.
Well, I tell you.
No, Drew worked for the government. He got to be a good guy. Them the rules, ain't it?
Got to.
The government is the bad guys, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Okay, I'm done promoting, I think, now. Oh, God. No, I'm not. Because I got to go on all my pages now and then retweet and repost. And I hate this.
Boy, got 7 burner pages.
Chill on me, bro. Chill on
Boy,
me.
think he Kevin Durant out here.
Chill on me, yo. I gotta make sure I gotta push this product. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right. I made me a burner page just in case the Chargers drafted Trevor Penny. I didn't have to use
as they should have.
I was finna get some tweets off, son. You hear me? Them tweets was finna be disgusting.
Saying beat you to it, boy. They said, boy, don't you ever forget that we can't draft.
They was giving that man the death sentence right there. Twitter was getting the death sentence.
I'm telling you something. This we got good old Zion, yo.
Yeah. That's a good pick right there.
You think that's enough?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It'd be better than Trevor Penning throwing edge rushes into my quarterback's legs. He almost ended Desmond Ritter's career before it started.
Sad thing is, Jameis just came off ACL surgery. So
I'm telling you, watch out for that brother leg. Jameis an athlete now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why all his workouts look so funny, but they're just hilarious for some reason. I don't know why. I really can't tell you.
I know I could do that.
But he's just hilarious.
Who we talking about again? Who hilarious?
Jameis. Yeah.
Jameis.
Oh, yeah. That's
all of them don't include the one flaw he has, which is throwing the damn ball. So,
well, he threw all them picks because he couldn't see clearly, Don. He had that eye surgery, yo.
He did not have a great season before he tore that Green Bay game was about it, son.
Yeah, but he wasn't bad though.
Right. He wasn't bad. Yeah, bro. You seen what LASIK do for NFL careers, bro? Look at Carlos Rogers.
Yeah. He couldn't catch a damn cold in DC. He gone.
He get LASIK and he all pro. I'm like, what's going on, yo?
That is hilarious, dog.
You telling me we really that cheap, yo? We treat our players disgusting.
Sometimes when you leave Washington, brother, you just
a nigga can't get LASIK.
No,
when you can't get corrective eye surgery for the sake of your defense.
When you leave DC, sometimes you feel the need to do better for yourself. I don't blame them, brother.
For yourself. Mm-hmm. That should have been done a long time ago, then, bro. Don't be talking about.
I'm pretty sure he just didn't start to not be able to see. I'm pretty sure his ass was probably blind in college too. So he needed to get that done years before.
Nobody ever asked him about it. It was just
nobody was like, "Damn, you drop a lot of picks, Carlos." Why?
nobody look at it like they don't got to submit. I was about to say orthodontist. That's the wrong doctor. They don't got to send in their eye doctor test and whatnot. They don't got to submit their eye test and whatnot. They don't get looked at.
I guess not.
So you telling me we looking at everything physically about somebody except that they can actually see?
Well, I mean, They probably do, but that's still up to the player to get it done or not. It was his eyes.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It was his eyes. Maybe he didn't want to fix.
Let it come out that motherfucker said, no, I don't want to be in DC, so I'm just get my eye surgery.
So I'm gonna make sure my eyes.
I'm tired.
Dan Snyder gonna pay for his crimes one day, brother.
One day.
I don't know what day it's gonna be, but
it ain't gonna be soon, but it's one day.
Yeah, you know how they get with them rich white men. You know how that go.
It's gonna be a nigga like the Riddler in his house one day.
Oh Jesus!
Well, that's a twisted individual right there.
Brooklyn Nets Ben Simmons is expected to need 3 to 4 months to make a full recovery. So training camp, he'll be back.
Good job, man.
If only they would have got that done 3 weeks ago, nobody would ever be calling for his job, and Stephen A. wouldn't be calling him the most soft athlete in professional sports history.
I think it's hilarious that he says that.
He said that, and he called Kyrie the most delusional player in sports history. In the same day, he was spitting, boy. He was going hard.
He was heated. He want to see some basketball. He want to see them boys
play. I want to see them boys play. Well, Kyrie played. He just didn't play all the time.
You know, Stephen A. live in New York. You know, he a New York kind of guy. He like the Knicks, but you know, it probably contributes a little bit to it. That's why he a little bit honest a moment.
He out there standing with R.J. Barrett. He just like me.
R.J. and Cam Reddish and Kemba Walker, yo.
Jesus, yeah, Cam Reddish is on that team. Oh God,
I'm telling you, Zion next. They gonna get them. They gonna get the trio together.
Zion
he's getting a little bit of minutes in there.
You think Zion doing this for a reason? Yes, sir. He trying to give his boys.
Just think he hurt all the time.
Nah, he trying to give it his boys. Watch. He get to New York, he gonna lose weight, be healthy again. Yeah. I'm buying it.
It'll take him a while.
I'm buying it. You know it ain't gonna take a while though?
What was that?
This intro.
Sip. Yeah. Sip. Yeah. Big bet. Tell me what you niggas really know about big tech. These niggas be swines, might as well be made of pig flesh. Might make an appearance, but that shit just for the quick check. We the jiggy niggas in the city, bitch dipset. I just made a play and I got double back. In a day, what you make in a month, I'm making double that. I can make the money come easy, I'll never fumble that. I might fill the tub up 100s and take a bubble.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the 3-Way Deal. You know what? I don't bang with y'all, you know.
Good.
But we back, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning into another episode. Shout out to Drew and the boys hooking us up with all our nice stuff, all our nice equipment. You know what I'm saying? We about to get a nice another package on the way. I ain't even tell you guys, but we get another package on the way. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We are 5. No, I'm tripping 5. Yeah, we're 4 days now removed from the NFL draft 2022. We're gonna get into a nice little recap. We're gonna discuss the winners. We're gonna discuss the losers, who we think are the winners and losers of the draft. We're gonna discuss also the biggest surprises of the draft. And as a curveball that you guys weren't expecting, I'm gonna throw this in also. I'm going to ask you guys after the draft, who do you guys think are going to win and lose each division? And what I mean win and lose, I mean be at the top of each division and at the bottom. I don't care about 2 and 3. I just want to hear 1 and 4. It's cool with y'all? So yeah, y'all can think about that, you know, while we're doing this. But blowing smoke, first topic. The Grizzlies tied up the series last night after Ja Morant, you know, had an impressive 47-point performance last night. And even in game 1, he had a very good performance, though they lost, and it was a very good game. But in the press conference after game 2, Ja went on to say that his last 15 points that he scored he could not see out of his. He couldn't see out of one of his eyes. I can't say if it was the left or right. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he said that in the post game interview. Do you guys buy into that? Do you guys think that that's true, or is he, he's doing one of those vet lies to add on to his? I don't want to call it a vet lie, but you know how it is when vets go on. They feel like they might cite something more just to add on to what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, thank you, Brown, huh?
I understand. I think he could see. I just think it was very blurry out of one eye. Not like in the literal sense of him not being able to see. I think his vision was there. It just wasn't good. So I don't have much on it really. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a huge deal, and it's not nothing noteworthy really because LeBron said that last year in the play-in when he hit that 35-foot three over Steph. He was like, I can't see. You could see a little bit, goddamn it. You could see a little bit. You wasn't blind, brother. Like, come on now, let's be real. Mm-hmm. But it was an amazing performance, and nobody's gonna remember that he said, "Oh, I could barely see out of one eye." 15 years from now, when they talk about that game, when we talk about Ja Morant's legacy, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, he scored 15 points with one eye." Like that's what they're gonna talk about. So it ain't nothing for real, man. It ain't nothing but great performance.
If anything, the way he played, he probably did get concussed a little bit upside the head. That's probably about it.
Yeah, but rim like a madman.
Yeah. In reality, I think Memphis should be up 2-0, but 1-1's cool enough. It's hard to put the Warriors away. I think every game is going to be close, so it's going to
That's a good series, man. Yeah. It's a really good series.
We'd like to know where Klay Thompson's at, but that's about it.
Yeah, he's on the Grizzlies. Desmond Bain. I see a tweet the other day, bro. They was like, Desmond Bain is basically if you made Klay Thompson and then put the blow up muscles from SpongeBob, and that's what you do. Yo, I was crying. That shit was so funny, bro.
That is kind of insane.
It's a weird series, man, where a lot of the role players ain't playing their role right now. It's looking like Steph versus Ja versus Draymond dramatics and bull crap, and the next thing you know, Jaren Jackson's fouled out again. But
but Jaren Jackson gets 3 fouls in the first half.
He's playing hard. He's playing hard.
He's playing hard. Okay, there's a difference between because a great coach once told me the great honorable Billy Blunt once told me, if you ain't fouling, you ain't trying. But that don't mean foul every time you play defense. That's not what that means. That he is an excessive fouler, and it's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. Taylor Jenkins be so mad on the sideline. So mad. Not Taylor Jenkins. Yeah, that's the coach name. He'd be so
upset too. You really don't play defense for real, and you don't grab rebounds, so you're really only good for offense, and you want to be fouling.
No, I mean he do play defense.
Yeah, he's a shot blocker.
You're right.
You don't play disciplined defense at all. It's like real reckless.
Yeah, but it ain't like he's a on-ball kind of defender kind of guy.
Like he makes his presence feel early. Like they gonna feel it, but it's just
they gonna feel it because they at the free throw line. Mm-hmm. Of course they are. he be hacking, dog. That is hilarious. You know what? I'm gonna look at something real quick. Keep going, Gray. See how many fouls he averaged per game.
I think he was number 1 in the league. I'm not gonna lie.
That's insane.
4.7.
I'm pretty sure he was number 1 in the league.
Could you imagine averaging 5 fouls a game? My God.
That's somebody to bet on. Let me be able to bet on somebody fouling out.
He got to get his score.
For his career, he averages 4 fouls a game. Last year was 3.5. My God, dude. Stop fouling so damn much.
Let me be able to bet on somebody fouling out.
He starts out fast and flames out.
For his career, he averages 5 rebounds and 4 fouls a game. Yo.
He literally.
How many points, though? How many points?
Oh, no, it ain't hard.
16.
That's all that matters.
Bro, he's 6'10" and he averages 16 and 5. That's disturbing to me. But enough about Jaren Jackson and him hacking just awful.
It's enough of it. It's enough. But let's go ahead and dive into our NFL draft recap, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely been one of the weirdest NFL drafts that we've ever had. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And just if you watch the first 2 rounds, you'll be able to tell this is one of the weirdest drafts we ever had. We had only one quarterback go in like the top 80 picks. That's never happened before. We've had the most wide receivers taken in like the first 100 picks. I want to say something like that in like the past. Actually, not even the past ever. I believe
17,
ever.
18 of them, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a very weird draft, man, and it's been a lot of smoke screens. We thought a lot of players were higher on a lot of other teams boards and whatnot, and obviously that wasn't the case. We thought a lot of players were just higher in general, and that wasn't the case. So we're gonna dive into a little recap. I'm gonna go over each team's first pick, whether they had, a first round pick or not. If they had first round picks, I'll just say both their first round picks. But yeah, I'll just dive into it and then we could just talk about who we thought the winners were from that. This is not in order, just so you guys know.
Right.
But what the heck is going on? Okay, here we go. My bad. All right, bet. So the Tampa Bay Bucks, the first pick was Logan Hall, defensive tackle out of Houston. Buffalo Bills, they selected Kyle Elam in the first round, cornerback out of Florida. Bengals selected Daxton Hill at 31, safety out of Michigan. We got the Giants, they selected Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal at 5 and 7 in the first round. We got Nick Bonito going to the Denver Broncos in round 2. We got Zion Johnson to the Chargers in round 1 at 17. We got Cole Strange going to the Patriots, offensive guard at 29 in the first round. Steelers select Kenny Pickett, quarterback at 20. The Bears selected Kyler Gordon with their second round pick, cornerback. The Rams selected Logan Bruss, our offensive guard, third round. Colts selected Alec Pierce, wide receiver with their first pick. Commanders select Jahan Johnson. Cleveland Browns, Martin Emerson. Minnesota Vikings, Lewis Seen from safety from Georgia. Houston selected Derek Stingley and Kenyon Green in the first round. Frisco selected Drake Jackson, edge, USC. Tennessee Titans, Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas. The Dolphins selected Channing Tindall, linebacker, with the third round. The Cowboys selected Tyler Smith from Tulsa, offensive tackle, or offensive lineman. The Saints selected Chris Olave, wide receiver from Ohio State, with the 11th pick. Falcons took Drake London with the 8th pick, wide receiver. Kyle Hamilton went to the Ravens at the 14th pick. He's a safety. Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd both got drafted by Jacksonville with the number 1 and 27th pick. Walker being an edge or being a defensive lineman in general, and Devin Lloyd being a linebacker. The New York Jets had 3 picks, which were Ahmad Gardner at 4, Garrett Wilson at 10, and Jermaine Johnson at 26. Raiders took Dylan Parham in the third round with their first pick. Green Bay Packers took Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt in the first at 22 and 28. Kansas City Chiefs took Trent McDuffie, cornerback, and George Karlaftis, edge, in the first round at 21 and 30. Detroit Lions took Aiden Hutchinson, edge, and Jameson Williams, wide receiver, at 2 and 12. The Seahawks took Charles Cross at offensive tackle at 9. The Philadelphia Eagles selected Jordan Davis at 13. Arizona Cardinals took Trey McBride, tight end, in round 2. And the last team that I got left is the Carolina Panthers, who took Ikem Okwonu, offensive tackle, pick 6. Now, with all that being said, y'all, the general consensus of actually, you know what? With all that being said, I want to ask you guys. We're gonna start off with the biggest surprises. I want to know what you guys thought were the biggest surprises from this draft. Just even starting out of the first round or wherever you want to go with any of these drafts, any other picks in the draft. What did you guys think was biggest surprises?
Well, clearly the biggest surprise was go round one was Cole Strange going in the first round.
Of course.
Now, New England operates differently than everybody else in the league. From Lance Zierlein and Dane Brugler and Daniel Jeremiah, the Patriots have the smallest board in the league. They have like 29 players on their board every year that they would draft. And if they don't have those players available at the spots they like, they just trade out. So Cole Strange was obviously on that board. But Cole Strange, from everything I've heard from, like I said, guys like Brugler, Zierlein, Greg Cosell, Daniel Jeremiah, from them talking to NFL teams, Cole Strange was going to be available somewhere in the second round. Now, it's not like it was an early first round pick. It was the 29th pick or the 28th pick of the draft or something like that. But man, I do not like that value right there when you have so many other pressing needs as a team. Like, who's starting at corner for the Patriots now? Or before they drafted Marcus Jones and Jack Jones, who are a third and fourth round pick. Before that, who is the starting one for the in the cornerback room for the Patriots? Who are any of the Patriots linebackers? And they selected Cole Strange. That was the Patriots don't draft particularly well to me anyway, but that surprised the absolute hell out of me, bro. I had no clue that was coming. Like, no clue. There's always surprises, but that right there that threw me for a loop just completely.
Because the thing with the Patriots is they first round picks never hit, like almost never hit.
Yeah, because they got 30 players on the big board.
Yeah, so like me seeing that, I was like, oh, that's very New England. Just go ahead and get a random guy out of nowhere. Couple of surprises for me was definitely the AJ Brown trade. That happened out of nowhere. Before this, if you would have asked me if AJ Brown was even going to leave the Titans, I was going to tell you no, because I was pretty sure the Titans would pay the man. That did not go that way. So that was a huge ass shock. Another shock, I would say, Arizona Cardinals. Absolutely, I don't know what's going on, but
that shocked you that Steve Keim did something stupid?
I just don't understand. You traded all the way up Hollywood Brown. It puzzles me. You probably could have got AJ Brown, I think. And knowing them, they probably didn't try. They probably didn't try at all.
That's the funniest part to me. Like,
that's the funniest thing of all, because seeing that happen and then seeing the AJ Brown thing happen afterwards is like, there's no way you guys weren't in on the conversation, but the Eagles were. There's no way you were left out of that conversation. Because I'm pretty sure if you asked AJ Brown if he wanted to play with Kyler Murray, and if you asked Kyler Murray if he wanted AJ Brown, both of them would have said yes. So
I think that's wrong, though. I think that's wrong, because Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown
they do work out together. And
do you know who Kyler Murray's best friend is?
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown. That's why it happened, because you want to keep your quarterbacks happy, but you also want to get them guys that they got chemistry with. So I understand it from that aspect. Hollywood Brown, I don't even think he was the 23rd pick in his own damn draft. And it's not like he played up to first round expectations. And you traded the 23rd pick, and then the first pick you made was a tight end.
You know what I think?
After Zach Ertz just had the best season as a tight end for the Cardinals in years.
Extended him too.
Extended him. And they got Max Williams back.
And I think they extended him. So
unless the Cardinals are completely going a completely different philosophy, like they're going to run a lot more 12 and 13 personnel. I have no idea what they were doing. None. It doesn't shock me though, because the last 2 years, y'all know how high I was on Zaven Collins. That was a very bad pick for the Cardinals. Because the year before, they took Isaiah Simmons, who they have no clue where to deploy on the defense. They're just perpetually very bad drafters. And I wasn't shocked that they did this. I wasn't. I really wasn't, bro.
One thing I'm kind of surprised about, one of the teams that drafted that didn't have a first round pick and how they went about drafting, surprisingly, was the Oakland Raiders to me, man. I didn't think that they would go all trench.
Makes sense though.
It makes sense, but when you think about Oakland, you know, normally they waste a pick on I don't want to use the wrong terminology, but normally they go out with the first pick or first two picks and they get themselves a DB or somebody that's likely not to pan out, and that's been shown over recent success and whatnot. So they've been obviously trying to
regime out there, brother.
Yeah, it's a new regime, but you know they've been trying to replace. They've been trying to fix that secondary for a long time, and I thought that maybe
still ain't do it.
They still ain't do it. They still ain't do it.
The trenches aren't good, man. Like I'm not gonna lie.
The trenches aren't good. The defense isn't that great, and the offense is okay. The offense
is fine. It's not worse.
That's
what the offensive line is mid.
Yeah,
but the offensive skill positions are good enough to where it's like, okay, the offensive line, as long as the offensive line isn't literally the worst in the league, they'll be fine offensively. You know what I'm saying?
There's two teams I wasn't really worried about during the draft. Three, really. Broncos, Raiders, and the Browns. Because you already made your big move. You made your big move. So now it's just at this point, you feel me? I already made my big move. I'm just picked some picks. They went trenches. That's cool.
But you still got to supplement those big moves you made with good players, and I don't think the Raiders drafted bad. Like I was fine with Dylan Parham. Dylan Parham was fine, good plug and play guard. He's also played right tackle and played it at a high level. Zamir White, I don't know about that. I wasn't a big fan of Zeus coming out for real.
I think the reason they did it is because eventually they're not. I ain't gonna lie, they're not gonna keep Josh Jacobs.
They're not.
They don't pick up his option. They're not keeping.
They're not at all. But I think there was better running backs on the board at that time. Yeah. That's just what I'm saying. Neil Farrell's a solid player. Matthew Butler was solid at Tennessee. Thayer Mumford, he's a 7th round pick, but he wasn't good at Ohio State for real.
Yeah.
So I think Vegas for where they were drafting did okay.
Yeah.
I still would have drafted a defense. I'd have took a shot in the dark at a DB. Like, I'm sorry, I would have, man.
And
that's why I was kind of surprised. I was like, they went all trenches.
I think right now what their plan is, because remember they was trying to talk and get Stephon Gilmore, and then earlier you heard them maybe in the Bradbury talk. So hopefully what they're doing is waiting on the Bradbury situation in New York. And if they cut him, they just go get at him, or if not, go ahead. They probably waiting for him to get cut, to be honest. That seemed like the simpler way. And
it seemed like it, because you don't want to trade for him because they're using a lot of cap space anyway. So I get it.
So that'd be the smart thing to do. But I don't know. This is a new regime though, so I ain't gonna,
I'm sorry, man. I still got to take a shot in the dark at a corner at some point, bro. Like, I just want to make sure of something. Where's Seattle?
Well, they got that fear right now because they've been doing that and they turned out criminals.
Yeah,
but that's not a shot in the dark though. You use the first round pick.
Yeah, that's the first round pick. That's my guy. I need.
Yeah, that's my guy pick. Okay, so Tariq Woolen went in the 5th round.
He went in the 5th.
Yeah. He slid me.
205, runs a 4.28.
Who didn't?
You mean the Raiders didn't want to take a chance on him in the 4th? I don't know, man. I'd have took a shot on him. I'd have took a shot instead of drafting another interior defensive lineman, which I mean they need, because you can't name any of the interior defensive linemen on the Vegas Raiders right now.
Give me a minute. I got you. Give me a minute.
I know one. I swear you said it on a pod before. I know.
I probably have.
Give me a minute.
Nico Autry. I don't know.
No, he played for Tennessee.
That's my guess.
You can't name one. They are not a good interior line team. They got Crosby and Chandler Jones, which is a great duo. Don't get me
That's all you
wrong.
need.
But if teams can run on them and the DBs aren't good, what the hell the edge rushers going to do? There's nothing they can do.
Get pressures.
Yeah, that's fine until it's 3rd and 1 and I'm fullback diving on your ass to get first downs because they can't stop the run and they can't stop the pass. So that's my only gripe with their draft. I think they did fine. I definitely would have took a shot in the dark at a super athletic DB, maybe Zion McCullum or somebody, bro. Somebody, goddamn.
I don't disagree with you. I definitely would have took a shot there, or even on both sides of the ball. I feel like you could have got a different kind of weapon on offense, or somebody just to accommodate your offense a little bit, even if you did want to go the skill set route.
Yeah, because they needed some speed on offense. They need some speed in the receiver room, but
man, you don't see who that is out there.
You got D-Tay, Renfro, and what's the other boy?
Darren Waller,
Renfro, he got that.
Darren about to get traded. His name in the trade talks too much, yo.
He ain't getting traded, man. He ain't getting traded. They don't have no speed offensively. That is a very slow receiver room. I mean, they got Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and Hunter Renfro. They are very, very good players. That's not what I'm saying. But they're also not fast. So you need the threat of a deep ball. You need the threat of it.
No, they're gonna bring back Deshaun Jackson, yo. My bad.
Derek Carr and Jesus is gonna hit all them windows and all them targets. Yes, sir.
Okay, we ain't got enough prayers in the world for that, bro.
Yeah, ain't enough Jesus stands in the world to help Derek Carr that much.
You're gonna hit every window, every tight spot, everything, yo. He got this, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I stand with him, yo. But let's dive into who we thought were some of the winners of the draft. We're gonna go over the top 3 that the consensus of, I guess the U.S. thinks are the top 3, and I believe that's the Jets and the Ravens and the Eagles, who all had nice hauls in the draft, or not even just hauls in the draft, but just because like a team like Philly was able to acquire somebody like AJ Brown speaks volumes today just for that first round pick. So
big time.
Yeah, let's talk about those 3 winners right quick: the Jets, the Ravens, and the Eaglets.
Okay, so the Jets. I'm start off with the Jets, and then I'll pass it to y'all. I am genuinely lower on the Jets draft class than most because I wasn't super high on Garrett Wilson, and I don't believe you should be drafting cornerbacks in the top 5. Not in today's NFL, where the rules are shifted so much towards offenses. And I have my concerns about Sauce Gardner. I mean, I think he was my CB too, so it's not like I'm saying he stinks or him or Garrett Wilson. The best pick was easily Jermaine Johnson at 26.
Oh, yeah, that's a steal.
At 26.
That's the biggest steal.
My edge 2 at 26. That's big time right there. They had a really good draft, though, man. The first 4 picks, I didn't watch much of Jeremy Ruckert, I'm not going to lie to you, simply because Ohio State doesn't throw to tight ends, and I'm not spending 3 hours of my day watching Jeremy Ruckert block. I'm just not doing it. I can't. I'm not that deep into this shit. I'm not that deep. But I also love the Max Mitchell pick because that gives them an option with George Fant being a free agent at the end of the year. And if Becton doesn't play well, you got a guy who you drafted relatively early. I think in the top 120 is where you can be like, you know what? I think these guys are going to start for my team eventually. You got a starting level right tackle or left tackle in Max Mitchell. And then the trade up for Breece Hall. People don't like running backs, but dog, y'all got to remember who's coaching that team and what system they are running in New York. They are running the Shanahan, McVay type system. They want guys with athleticism and speed and burst. That is what Breece Hall gives them. Now, you can find that in a 6th round running back, but you're not going to find that at 6 foot 215 in the 6th round. That's not going to happen. So I love that they traded up and got Breece Hall. They got another weapon for Zach Wilson in the running game. And if they can establish the run man and work off play action with Garrett Wilson is going to get open immediately in the short to intermediate ranges. Still got Elijah Moore. I think they did really good to improve their chances. I just think I'm a little bit lower on the draft class than the consensus because I wasn't as high on Wilson or Gardner because most people had Sauce as their CB1.
Yeah, and as far as I feel about the Jets, I feel like, well, in general, this is a draft class where you shouldn't have done too much trading up because the quality of players just wasn't really there. You rather just go ahead and get as many as you can.
Get as many good players as you can.
But they chose the trade up route, and all their players are within the top 150, 120, really. So, Sauce Gardner.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. The Sauce Gardner pick. I can't, I'm with you. I don't like cornerbacks in top 5. The only one I would have accepted was Derek Stingley.
Yeah.
So, and when you know how I feel like Sauce Gardner was supposedly CB1 most of this time. I compare that to the CB1 of last year, which was Surtain and Horn. Mm-hmm. Is he better than any of those as a prospect?
No.
Not even close. But he went 4th in this class. So I don't. Hope he does good though. Right. You just need it.
I'm rooting for all these guys, man.
I can't. You feel me? I can't really remember the last time they really had a good cornerback. Revis. So that's about that. I'm high on Garrett Wilson because I like elite separators. And brother, somebody got to get open on that offense. Because let me tell you something. Elijah Moore does it pretty good. Denzel Mims don't do it at all. Corey Davis, nah. So having a guy that's going to be open is very good for Zach Wilson because he's going to have to get the ball out of his hands fast because, as you can see in this draft, the Jets did not protect him. But we got Garrett Wilson, so I like that. Jermaine Johnson was a steal at 26. So I'm all for going up to get that because why is he still there? Yeah. I get that. Breece Hall, this is the offensive coordinator's baby LaFleur. So just get with that. Okay. Understand that. That's a home run hit to me. Jeremy Ruckert, unnecessary. You got CJ from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. What are you doing messing with tight ends? Get a guard.
And they got Tyler Conklin, man.
Yeah, like bro, just get a guard, dog. I don't understand that one. Max Mitchell was good. That was a good one. He's going to end up probably being all across the line this season. Michael Clemens, that was good too. You got 2 edges. Depth is important. Carl Lawson got hurt last year, right. So I'm fine with that. I just ain't like the trade up approach, but at the same time, at least when you trade it up, you got quality. So
you got good players, and that's all the Jets needed to do this draft was get good players for that.
Get quality players, and I think I definitely agree. I think they got some quality players. Ahmad Gardner, just starting off from the top. Yeah, Sauce Gardner, that's my guy. I love the Cincy guys. I'm rooting for all my Cincy guys that came out this year. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think that he'll have I think he'll have a good amount of trouble starting out. I'm not always sold on the small school guys, especially at corner. I'm not always sold on them just because of the talent they go against. And then when you actually had a chance to go against a top wide receiver prospect, you didn't even get to go one-on-one with the guy. Everything was bracketed. I get that the game plan is game plan, but if you're the number 1 corner, supposedly CB1, I expect to see you against wide receiver, arguably 1 and whatnot. That's just me. But so I think that Sauce is gonna have a little trouble going into the league and whatnot. Garrett Wilson, I wasn't a huge fan of him also, but I do give him credit for when it's due. The separation is elite. The playmaking ability is elite. Watching him in college, I think that he'll do fine. I'm not sold that he'll be a superstar, but I think he'll do fine. Right. He'll do fine in the NFL. Jermaine Johnson definitely was a steal, like we all said. He's going to be a very good impact player for them, I believe. I think he's very twitchy. I think he's still raw, very raw, and that he has a lot that he could learn and definitely process that into becoming a better edge rusher, not just an edge rusher, but just a better defensive lineman. Yeah. Breece Hall, definitely a steal in the second. Not even a steal, I would say. Just the way that this draft was going, I can't even say everything was necessarily a steal just based on positional value, but Breece Hall is a really good player. He's a really good running back. Very good size, very good speed. Does a lot of good things with the ball. Has very good ball carrying vision. Has a lot of moves for you. I think that's a solid pickup. It kind of makes me question a little bit the amount of running backs that they took over the past 2-3 years, I believe. But you know, that's your guy. That's your guy. Jeremy Ruckert, I don't like the pick either. Like Don said, Uzama's there, and Conklin. Yeah, I feel like they could have addressed another. They could have addressed another position there. Could have went guard. Could have probably went
another
the DB. You could have went tackle. You probably could have went anywhere except tight end and running back. Really, you could have went anywhere here. But yeah, Max Mitchell and Michael Clemens, solid pickups also in the 4th round. So I think they did a solid job. They're definitely one of the winners here in the draft. Y'all want to dive into the Ravens?
Hell yeah.
Let's dive into the Ravens and how we fucked this all up. Not we, the Falcons fucked it all up. That's what started it. But
Ravens had my favorite class. Ravens had my favorite class. They continue every year to just stockpile very good players without doing a whole lot of extra moving around or anything like that. I mean, they got, the 23rd pick for, or 25th, whatever Arizona had. No, they had 23rd, and then the Bills moved up from 25 to 23 to take Elam. So they traded the 23rd pick, and they took Linderbaum. The first pick was Kyle Hamilton. So they got safety 1. They got center 1. Then they took probably the most twitched up and athletic edge rusher in the class. I mean, I don't consider Trayvon Walker a pure edge rusher. So, and David Ajabo in the 2nd round. They got my defensive tackle 2, Travis Jones, in round 3. Everybody was kind of concerned about the Daniel Falele pick, because there's not a lot of 6'8", 380-pound tackles just walking around Earth. But I would like to remind y'all that 4 years ago, they drafted a guy named Orlando Brown from Oklahoma, who was also 6'7" and ginormous. So they have a history working with these guys. I mean, Falele's probably 40 pounds bigger. He's a mountain, dog. But I like the pick. You get right tackle insurance. Probably doesn't play this year because, you sign Morgan Moses to that deal. But after next year, he probably steps in as the starter or the year after that. So I love that pick. Jalen Armour-Davis from Bama quietly had a really, really good season at corner. Very smart, very technical, good ball skills. He just got injured towards the end of the year.
Yep.
The Ravens absolutely crushed this, Joe, bro. And then, of course, they got some more tight ends and Charlie Kolar. They even got the best damn punter in the draft, man.
What school he went to, man?
Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
They got the best punter in the draft, too. They absolutely crushed it, bro. Now, my only concern is that you gotta, every year for Lamar, you have to go get a wide receiver. You have to go get somebody, bro. Somebody. Especially after you just traded Hollywood.
You let your one go.
You let your one, and I understand you got Mark.
Oh, yeah.
You got Bateman, and they're high on Tylan Wallace.
But that's your one.
Renee.
But that was your one. Your certified one. You gotta replace that.
You gotta take one of them. I get it. You want to be big, strong, physical Baltimore Ravens team. Charlie Kolar is not the best blocker, and neither is Isaiah Likely. Likely's probably the better blocker at this point. So they're going to be, more 12, more 13 personnel heavy this year. But, man, they should have drafted a wide receiver somewhere. But still, it was the best draft to me, bro. Best draft in the whole league. Because getting a top 5 player in the class to me at 14 is insane. Especially with the secondary they already have, dog. Yeah. Chuck Clark, Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Williams. Now you're throwing Kyle Hamilton back there? Man, they did an excellent job.
I do want to ask you something, Stu. So
Okay.
I know how you said that you got to address the wide receiver at some point, and I
Absolutely.
believe going into this draft, and I think that Baltimore does this every year, that they draft BPA no matter what. They will draft the best position on the board, no matter who's on the board.
Mm.
So I want to ask you, going in, looking back at the first round of this draft, do you think that maybe just a Kyle Hamilton pick? Nah, not even that. Okay, yeah. After when the Ravens were on the board, do you think that any wide receiver was BPA, or they should have or any of them, any? Well, I will say up to Travis Jones, up to the third pick, because after that, I feel like anything could really happen. But just based on BPA, do you think that any wide receiver should have came off the board based on how good these players are before these other players, or you would have took a wide receiver before any of these other guys?
Of the top 4 players they drafted, no. No, I would not. Honestly, in the top 5 players they drafted. But the 4th round is a good spot. They had 6 fourth rounders.
They did.
They didn't draft 6. They drafted
they had 10.
They drafted all 6 of the 4th rounders. Not one receiver. Bo Melton was on the board. Danny Gray was on the board.
That is crazy.
Guys that could stretch the field and get vertical. You didn't take none of them. None of them.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
That's the only discrepancy for me. You got to take somebody at that position. Unless you're going to go get Julio or Odell, and that's already set in stone prior to the draft. Then you just go BPA the whole way. But you cannot roll into the year with your 2 best receiving options being Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. And I like both of them. But that can't happen, man. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. And I think that the Ravens kind of bought into the idea that, because I saw this crazy stat, and it said that Lamar performs a lot better when all his tight ends are available or all his tight ends are playing. Something like that.
Yeah. And that's probably correct. But what happens when you're in the divisional championship game and you're playing?
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
Week 17, and you're playing the Browns for the division title, and you're down 7 with 2 minutes left. You're gonna just throw to Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman and hope. What's my man Prochet? What's Prochet first? James Prochet and Devin Duvernay can separate and get open? No, bro. You in a passing league. I get the Ravens are a different team. You got to have somebody else, bro. Somebody. But again, still the best draft to me. So I'm just being picky, but it's still the best draft.
I feel you. Yeah, that's the only reason why I brought up, just because I heard somebody say that they were drafting, and they continuously throughout the years drafted BPA. So it just made me think, looking at the picks, I'm like, it makes sense a little bit. If you're just drafting BPA, it makes sense why they didn't go wide receiver. It makes a lot of sense.
Not to me when you drafted a punter in the 4th round, but yeah.
Well, okay. Outside of the punter.
And they drafted another tight end, bro.
Isaiah Likely. I heard Likely was like that. No pun intended.
Yeah, Likely's cool. He's cool.
He's from Coastal.
You had 2 4th rounders. No, you had. Let me make sure. 6 fourths. Just to be
6.
Sure.
You had 10. 150.
3 of them were tight end punter. Come on, dog. Come on, man. You
back to back.
A wide receiver or something.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely with you. My bad. But Don, you wanna chime in on the Ravens talk? Yeah.
That's my only issue, is because knowing Baltimore, they have to take the cheap route, and they didn't go through the draft. So that was a bit shocking. But other than that, Kyle Hamilton fell right in your lap. Take that. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You go get Linderbaum after you just lost your center.
Yep.
You get the best center in the draft. That's perfect. Then you go and get Ojabo who people seem to forget when they played at Michigan. A lot of teams game plan against Ojabo more than they did Hutchinson. It's a real thing because Ojabo's that his speed and everything, athleticism, it's just was something you had to take into account for. So once he gets healthy, him on that Baltimore defense.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Then you get Travis Jones. Travis Jones is a just straight up tree stump stuff, man. Like that's straight up what he is. So getting that is beautiful. The Falele, that pick is interesting because you just got a big ass grizzly bear on top of that power offense. So that was very Baltimore. So I
could you imagine running power behind Daniel Falele with Lamar Jackson? Are you kidding me?
One thing I won't apologize for.
You got Linderbaum pulling you. Yeah.
I won't apologize for the Ravens getting my boy Jordan Stout. Listen, I won't care about it. That's Johnny Hecker like punting right there. I'm talking about athletic punters that change the game on special teams. And in the AFC, hey, listen, in the AFC, everything matters, and special teams matters the most in the playoffs. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
So I understand it.
All three phases of football, yo. Talk to
me. That's fair.
Go get your guy. Them two tight ends, though, both of them is unnecessary to me. Not just one of them. Both of them is very unnecessary.
Talk to me.
Make no sense.
Let's dive into the last of the top three consensus. Yeah, consensus. I can't say the word. Consensus.
Yeah.
There we go. Winners that I've seen a lot in the media, and that is the Philadelphia Eaglets. Yeah. They had 2 first-round picks going into this draft, and they left with 1. And that 1 pick was Jordan Davis, D tackle out of Georgia, who was arguably he had a top 2 combine ever, apparently, compared to, perspective to position, weight, and height and everything, One of the best combines we ever seen. And then they also used the other first-round pick that they traded with Tennessee for. They were able to acquire AJ Brown. That's a fucking come up right there in itself. They were able to get, Cameron Jurgens, offensive lineman, in the second. They were able to get Nakobe Dean, who a lot of people felt should have been a first-round lock. They felt like even outside the injury, even though me personally knowing that a shoulder injury and you're refusing to get surgery on that shoulder and you're a linebacker, yeah, that's that you're hurting your own draft stock by doing that. But he was the heart and soul of one of the best defensives in college football, so that definitely speaks volume for itself. And he's a solid player. They was able to get him. They picked up Kyron Johnson in the 6th, and Grant Calculator. I don't know how to say his last name. Tight end from Oklahoma. Calcaterra. Yeah. That guy. But yeah, let's dive into it. Let's talk about the AJ Brown pickup. Let's talk about Jordan Davis and him being potentially Fletcher Cox's replacement. Let's talk about Nakobe Dean's impact. Let's talk about Cameron Jurgens. Let's talk about it all, man. How we feel about Philly? We feel like it's overrated, underrated. Well, it can't be underrated.
About Philly's draft was that everybody they got after Jordan Davis. I mean, I'm not even going to mention AJ Brown. You already know how I feel about AJ Brown. Everybody after Jordan Davis is a replica of who they already have on the roster at those positions. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Cam Jurgens, Tyler Linderbaum was probably the better comp for Jason Kelce. But Cam Jurgens is just as athletic as Tyler Linderbaum. Mm-hmm. Just not as good technically. So they got a Jason Kelce replacement. Nakobe Dean and Kaiser White are body type wise relatively the same. Kaiser's on a 1-year deal. Kaiser's a little bit big, well, a lot bigger. But they play the same style. Kyron Johnson, if you look at his measurables and Hassan Reddick's, they are almost the same. Like the same. Kyron Johnson ran a 4.4 at his pro day. He had a 40-inch vert. 40 as an edge rusher. And he did relatively well in the Senior Bowl, too. And then Grant Calcaterra is of that mold of Dallas Goedert. So I really, really like their draft. I was higher on Cam Jurgens than most. I thought he was a top 60 player, really. Um, I was lower on the Kobe Dean than most because he's a 5'10", 225-pound linebacker. I really got lower on him when I figured out he was not trying to have pec and shoulder surgery. He got a bad ankle, got a bad leg. He just beat the hell up, and he's small. But for him to be the 82nd, 83rd, 83rd pick in the draft, crazy value. And then, of course, Jordan Davis, who quite literally could be the most athletic football player we've ever seen.
Yeah.
They traded up in front of Baltimore because they knew Baltimore was going to pick him, and they got him. So now they have a defensive line of Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Hassan Reddick, Jordan Davis, who was Hargrave first? Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox. They are Brandon Graham still there. They are loaded on the defensive line now. They had an excellent draft, probably my second favorite draft out of everybody. Um, I kind of wish they would have drafted another wide receiver because I mean your wide receiver Jalen Rager is bad, like
y'all was
bad,
trying to tell me. Y'all was
bad.
trying to tell me he was good.
What was we?
Shit happened.
You asked though.
I ain't
I
never
sure
said
no,
Rager was good.
here's the problem with Don saying that. The reason Jalen Rager wasn't highly regarded in college is because his quarterback sucks. Now
Right.
listen to Don talk about Jahan Dotson. And he gonna tell you, well, I mean, his quarterback stunk. It was the same thing to me. It's the same thing. And
Dawson
Jalen
catches
is a
the
better
ball.
athlete.
Rager had drop problems in college, dog.
But he got dropped. He had drop problems because he wasn't getting a lot of on-target passes. So of course you're gonna drop more if more of them are inaccurate. They're just bad passes. He was just getting bad passes. But
Now
he
all
hasn't been good in
passes
the
are
league.
dropped.
Quez Watkins literally can only run straight. I wish they would have drafted one more, because not just because they needed another one, but you need wide receiver depth in the league today, man. You really do.
Oh, yeah,
so I think they had a really good draft. Favorite draft pick, though, was definitely Jordan Davis, even though it's kind of weird to say the first round pick was my favorite pick. But adding Jordan Davis to those guys that's big time to me.
It's beautiful. When I went into the Eagles draft, couple things I thought they needed: wide receiver. Well, you knocked that out the park with AJ Brown. Find your Jason Kelce replacement. He's getting old soon. Boom, got that. I think I've been asking for the Eagles to find linebackers for about 3 years now.
Howie Roseman don't even believe linebackers exist. They don't even think they real people.
His whole fan base is like, bro, we need linebackers so bad. The middle get tore up every single time. He's like, nope, and I don't
he
care.
Gonna throw out them oversized safeties every time. He gonna throw them in the box every time.
He got a philosophy, son. He stick with it.
Like, I just don't care. But he addressed it this time, so thank you for that. Then you got Grant Calculator. That's cool. You lost Ertz, so that's cool. That's good depth. I wish they would have grabbed another DB.
Because,
Because I mean, originally in my mock, I had them using that first rounder on a DB. So I mean, but it's cool. Clearly, they said, you know what? We're just gonna make the trenches so damn dangerous. The DBs won't have.
DBs ain't even gonna matter.
So
I get it.
Listen, man. Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave.
Yeah. Good luck.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Then you just went and got Hassan Reddick, who had another year of 10 plus sacks. And you got Josh Sweat over here.
And Brandon Graham.
Listen, brother, good hunting.
Yeah.
And Ryan Kerrigan.
Ryan Kerrigan. That defensive line is deep, man. Very deep. It was good.
They sound like us, but not us. But let me tell you something, man. The Eagles
with Bama guys.
Bama on OSU, yo. That's all we know. Bama OSU. Keep the pipeline going. But let me tell you guys, man. Philly did everything that I wanted them to do, except outside of the AJ Brown pickup. I did not need AJ Brown in my division, but let me tell you, me saying that means that that's a good fucking job. They did what they were supposed to do, and they're getting better as a team. Definitely, they're finding the replacements for their and they're not even finding replacements. They're finding guys that could potentially have the ceiling to be better than the guys that they're replacing. Like, honestly, if we're talking about it, we're talking about Nakobe Dean. Well, Nakobe Dean linebacker. That's not it. The linebackers that the Eagles have now, it's not hard to, be better than them.
It's not hard to be better than Alex Singleton.
Exactly. It's not hard to be better. And Eagles fans love that guy. So it's not that hard. Cameron Jurgens, he's got, just because he's a lesser known name, I would say, compared to a lot of the O linemen, and not a lot of, well, not even say lesser, but I'll say not as much buzz around his name. And it's not a lot of buzz around a lot of the interior offensive linemen in this draft.
Yeah,
but
it's a boring position.
Yeah, it is. But, they did a good job in replacing potentially Jason Kelce and Jordan Davis, man. Big pickup. You got a guy with a lot of upside, a lot of potential, a lot of athleticism, a productive guy on third down. The one thing that we all have a question mark about is he really a 3-down kind of guy? Can he play, a lot of snaps in a game? Can he give you that serviceable amount that you need to be a quality rotation player? We about to find out. We're going to see what that's like.
With the Eagles, it's not going to matter because they got Javon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got Fletcher Cox. I mean, he's automatically going to have to be a rotational kind of guy. And that'll work in his favor, and then
you get more effective pass rushing out of him because he is a good pass rusher, but he's old. So,
oh yeah. He definitely going to work in. It's going to be nice. I hate it, but we coach our O line up pretty good. We have our fourth string center in, and we be doing pretty good. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. We got 2 more topics on the night. First topic is we're going to go over our own personal 3 outside of the consensus media top 3 winners of the draft. We're all going to give our 3 winners, and then we're going to give our losers. It's not a certain amount of losers. We're just going to talk about the losers of the draft or who we thought was a loser. Loser. Why you remind me of that shit?
Loser.
All right. I'll start with one.
Mm-hmm.
One of my first winners, we'll just go around saying one by one.
Okay.
One of my first winners. Actually, I'm not gonna start with them. I'm gonna start with these guys right here. One of my first winners was the Houston Texans, man. I like what I like what Houston did in this draft. Man. They had 2 first-round picks. You go get Derek Stingley. If Derek Stingley can be healthy,
best player in the draft,
we already know what he can do. So that's already off the. You get you a franchise corner, and you get yourself a franchise offensive guard, tackle, whatever you guys decide to do with Kenyon Green, probably guard. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
You got Kenyon Green, boom. You also sign in the second. You get quality pieces that are ready to step up and be starters right now, or just even be developmental pieces. And I feel like even if they are developmental pieces, they will be still quality pieces in the NFL. You got Jalen Petrie, I'm gonna assume, and John Mechie. You got an Alabama wide receiver who was, before he got hurt, he was arguably maybe a top 6, top 5 wide receiver in the draft coming out. He's a solid physical kind of receiver. He gives you a lot to work with. And then, Petrie's on the scene also, up and coming safety. Very, very good coverage kind of guy. Not afraid to lay the boom, not afraid to come down and tackle, but I see him more as a coverage kind of safety, nickel, roaming, slot kind of guy, And then also you pick up Christian Harris, who some people thought was creeping into a first round late. I mean, not first round, late first, early second kind of round of pick. So it's a solid pickup at linebacker that you got. You pick up Damian Pierce, Thomas Booker, Tegan, I'm not going to say his last name, and Austin DeLucas. So.
The hell is this guy's last name?
Quitoriano.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try.
I'm not
even going to try. But yeah, I feel like if they're sticking with Davis Mills as their quarterback and they see a future with him, or even not even just a future. If they're just looking for the next draft, they definitely invested right into their team. When you really could invest anywhere with their team. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of needs, and I feel like they've addressed a lot of needs, and they probably hit on a lot of needs in this draft. And that's one of the reasons why I think that they are one of the winners in this draft. They picked up a lot of solid guys.
Yeah,
I
so
did like the Texans draft. Well, I'm listening though.
Houston was actually probably up there as my favorite class because of how they took it. Derek Stingley, you know how I feel about him. Him getting drafted at 3. Hey, I said that's the only DB I'll take in top 5. I'm sticking with it. I'm fine with that. They called Derek Stingley. Lovey Smith said, "How do you feel about following the number 1 receiver?" Now let's pump your brakes, brother, because your defense ain't good enough to do that. But I like the idea. Then you get Kenyon Green. That's good because you got your tackles secured already, Tunsil, and you just got Titus Howard. I think they either re-signed him or they picked up his 5th year. Either way, 2 good tackles. So fix the inside up a little bit. That's good. Jalen Petrie, I love that one. Especially after losing old boy, Justin Reed. Yeah, losing him. I think you actually just went and upgraded as safety, to be honest with you. So yeah. Then you got Stingley, and you already got Steven Nelson on the other side. I like Steven Nelson. He's pretty good. So I respect that. John Metch. Oh, they got Mitch. That pick right there. Let me tell you something. First of all right, the Houston Texans won that DeAndre Hopkins trade. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They won that trade. Because even when Hopkins left, they still got productive enough receiving, and it worked out. I think Cooks, this receiving core right here is still. They could have got one more because I ain't gonna lie. Philip Dorsett and what's his name? They got Deshaun Hamilton. None of that's moving me. Who else they got? They just picked up someone else. Chris Conley, Nico Collins. None of that's moving me. But
not moving.
So yeah, one more guy will be
cool. Brevin, not moved.
Brevin Jordan was playing really good at the end of the season.
My bad. My bad. It was just throwing in another name.
I'm stick with that. Christian Harris, great pick. You got Christian Kirksey. So you needed linebacker depth because you let go of who they let go of, and the Titans picked them up.
Oh, Zach? No, not Zach.
Zach Hunter.
Zach. Yeah.
Oh, so getting Christian Harris instead, that's cool. The Damian Pierce pick, that's cool because you feel me. Rex Burkhead had 1 game, but let's not get carried away. So you feel me. so getting a running back, that's cool. Thomas Booker, they need trenches. So anytime Houston goes trenches, I will never get mad because they need a lot of it on both sides. So that's fine with me. Tegan the Quiznos right here from Oregon State, the tight end.
Yes, sir.
Unnecessary. You know how I feel about tight ends. If you already got one, don't need another. But could have but I feel like Houston went in here and they got players that they can plug in right away and play right now and make an impact and help put a band-aid on 1,000 of the holes that they have right now. So I love Houston's draft. It was you address your needs with quality, and you didn't reach up too far to get it.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all in love with Houston draft. They did have a good draft. But the team I'm going to pick, and I'm glad neither one of y'all said it.
Oh, Detroit, no, I got no one. Don't worry. I did love Detroit.
Yeah, I would.
I wasn't as high on Aiden Hutchinson as everybody else, but still a top 10 player in the class. Clearly is going to come out there and bring energy, instant pass rush ability. They traded up for Jamison Williams. They traded 32, 34, and 66 to get 12 and 46 back. And they got, if Jameis, well, I can't say that because if Drake London didn't get hurt, he might have had 17 damn touchdowns and 1,700 yards.
Let me tell you.
He was doing some disgusting things to them Pac-12.
But he couldn't separate.
He couldn't, you know what I'm saying? But
he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't run a full route tree. But I'm not gonna get into it. Keep going.
But Jameson at 12 gives them a excellent weapon. Excellent weapon for Jared Goff. They needed some speed. I mean, they had DJ Chark, but DJ Chark ain't J-Mo, man.
Yep.
He ain't J-Mo. Josh Pascal is my favorite pick for the Detroit Lions. That gives you an immediate upgrade at the edge or an interior against the run, and his hands are extremely powerful, and he's a good power rusher as well. He's a big guy. He's like 6'3", 280, really big player. I love that pick. Kirby Joseph, rangy safety. He got vines for damn arms. He got long ass arms, man. Good cover guy. But my other favorite pick, and I didn't think he was going to last to the 6th round, Malcolm Rodriguez from Oklahoma State, linebacker. Oklahoma State had a top 10 defense in the country last year.
Really?
Oklahoma State's defense was really good.
Oh, you said State. My bad.
They were pretty solid. Malcolm's undersized. You know what I'm saying? He's an undersized guy. But he has crazy diagnosed skills. He's very smart, very instinctive. I think he's starting come week 1. That's how good I think Malcolm Rodriguez is. And that's not saying much because, Detroit's linebacker room isn't great. But to me, if you come out of the draft with an instant starter at middle linebacker, or not necessarily middle linebacker, but at linebacker, a starting edge, and a playmaking wide receiver, and you add that to what Detroit is already building offensively and have a really good offensive line. They got DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, TJ Hawkinson. All Jared Goff has to do is not be the worst version of himself. And I think the Lions can win 5 or 6 games this year, bro. Seriously. They had an excellent draft to me. One of my favorites.
Let me tell you something. You can win 5 or 6 games as long as Dan Campbell, your quarterback. You just got, I said quarterback, head coach. You just got to buy in. Just got to buy in.
Ooh, well, you know who my favorite pick for Detroit was that you ain't mentioned? My boy James Houston from Deion School now.
Deion School, huh?
Now he transferred.
You stand up.
He transferred from Florida to Jackson State. And I remember when I was watching the Jackson State games, I was like, who the hell is this edge rusher? He keeps blowing everything up.
Hey,
and I said, out of all these HBCU schools, I only know 2 teams that really was going to end up having a chance to get someone getting drafted. And that was South Carolina State or Jackson State. And if it was from Jackson State, it would be James Houston. So I
really like that.
I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him. Deion Sanders got some boys down there, man.
About to see. Honorable mention to my best drafts. I just want to throw in the Chiefs and the Packers. Just want to throw them in there.
Yeah. I had the Chiefs as well, but I had the Seahawks because a lot of people ain't recognized, but the Seahawks drafted really good.
Yes, they did. For like the first time ever.
Yeah, I'm about to say not really something you expect from.
Oh no! See, I thought we were all gonna give 3 teams each. So my 3 teams were one of them was gonna be my honorable mention, the Packers or the Chiefs, but Atlanta was gonna be my other.
Yeah, I liked Atlanta's as well. I mean, the Chiefs draft was very good as well.
I just like who they came up with without having to do too much. I like that.
My question is the Trent McDuffie pick. Y'all know I really did like Trent McDuffie.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But is he the type of corner that Spags likes? Spags likes big, physical, aggressive, press man corners. That ain't Trent McDuffie.
He want an in-phase guy.
Can you trust Trent McDuffie on an island with bigger wide receivers when you send them cover 0 blitzes? I don't know if you can. Now, great. I think he's a really good player. Don't get me wrong. Karlaftis, really good player. I think the most overrated pick for them, though, was Sky Moore. I swear to God, people think Sky Moore is the Tyreek Hill replacement. Everybody pump the goddamn brakes a little bit.
I don't think he's a replacement, but I think he's a solid a solid receiver.
He's small and he's explosive.
Like,
Listen, there's no Tyreek Hill, bro. Just cut it out. He's not as fast. He's not as athletic. He's not as powerful. None of that. Just like,
I hate those automatic comps that people get towards teams and coaches just because somebody drafts them. Like, why are people saying that Jahan Dotson going to be Steve Smith? Can we stop?
No, keep going.
No,
please stop. I don't need that. Just tell him he better be better than Josh Dotson. Just tell him he better be better than that, please.
I mean, listen, brother. I think the three people on this podcast might be better than Josh Dotson, so that's not a high bar to clear.
You're right. I am going to catch. Don seen it. I bag on anybody. I go up and get it.
Talk to him, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna leave it up to fate, yo. But, yeah. Anybody else got any winners they want to talk about before we dive into the losers? The last topic.
The Buffalo Bills is a winner to me. Kyer Elam. I've been asking the Buffalo Bills for the last 3 years to draft another corner to put outside on the opposite side of Trey White. I've been begging Brandon Beane to do it, and he finally did it. He got a guy. I mean, I think Elam would be better in a press man scheme, bigger, longer arm corner. And, the Bills play a lot of zone. But I think he'll be fine. I think he has the requisite athleticism, ball skills. He has to work on his tackling a little bit. But I think that's a good pick. But these two picks they made in their second round pick and their fifth round pick, James Cook and Khalil Shakir, they drafted matchup players right there. James Cook isn't going to be back there taking the ball on in I formation, running the ball 15 times a game. What James Cook is going to do, he's going to go out wide so they can see what coverage you're running. And if you're running man and you have a linebacker on James Cook, Josh Allen is going to throw it to him every single time. That's how good James Cook is in the receiving game. James Cook is so good as a receiver. In the combine, he asked them just to do receiver drills. He said they know how good I am as a running back, but I want them to see that I can do these wide receiver drills. I love that pick. And Khalil Shakir out of Boise State, slot guy. You can kind of get him, and I hate calling it the Deebo Samuel role because there's been hundreds of thousands of receivers that have taken handoffs on jet sweeps and shit.
I see. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he can do that as well. And the Bills got the second best punter in the draft, somebody they call the punt god, Matt Araiza. He has no hang time. But if you're ever pinned on the 3-yard line, brother, you're good. He taking that shit back to the 15 on the opposite side of the field. So I think the Bills had an underrated good draft. I like their draft a lot.
Panthers.
Yeah, the Commanders, yo. We're some winners.
No, brother. I'm not going to mention my own team.
We're some winners, yo. Because I see the vision, and if the vision is true, it makes sense what we did. But that's all I'm going to say about it. Mm-hmm. Let's dive into the losers. Can I go first? Because I've been waiting to get this off my chest.
I only got 2, and I hate them both a lot.
Huh? Oh, let me go first so you can say the other one because I'm pretty sure I'm saying one. Is one a place that likes gumbo and seafood?
Oh no.
Ooh. Okay, I'm listening.
I always think they suck at drafting, so I wasn't shocked.
Now, it's only one it's 2 reasons why I say that New Orleans is a loser in this draft. Well, yeah, 2 reasons. One is just because I am not personally high on Penning or Olave. I'm not high on either one of them. I wasn't high on Penning since, I guess, the Senior Bowl. Yeah, I wasn't high on Penning since the Senior Bowl, and I wasn't high on Chris Olave since I did my – I mean, Chris Olave has been cool to me, but since draft night and when I dove into my Dotson tape and his stats and compared to Olave, I was not a fan of him anymore. As much, I will say. He wasn't in my top 4 wide receivers anymore. He was kind of like in my top 6. But the other reason why I said that was because in order to draft Chris Olave and Trevor Penning and the 6th round pick that they acquired, the Saints gave up picks that amounted to the following:
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Brown, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, Sam Howell, Cole Turner, Kyron Johnson, a 2023 first round pick, and a 2024 second round pick.
Okay, now my question is,
No, you ain't let me finish.
Okay.
You let me finish, y'all. So with all that amounting, I will just say this, based on how I feel. This is all personally how I feel, not just general consensus or how everybody else feels, but just based on how I feel. If New Orleans isn't able to do what they're normally able to do with their offensive tackles to do what they need to do with Penning, and if Chris Olave is anything that I think after doing my studies, and I'm not, you also know that I'm not high on guys that go to big schools and are wide receiver 3s ish, debatable wide receiver 2s ish, and getting all this glamour. I'm not really for those guys until they prove themselves at the next level, because I don't know what you're doing against at your current competition. I don't know what you're doing against the best competition, because you're not necessarily always getting the best comp against you. Yeah, just from off of that, if they're not reaching those pars, I'm not sold on New Orleans draft. I'm just not.
Okay. So to rebuttal that, you need to take A.J. Brown completely out of that equation.
I'm not
completely out of that equation.
I'm not, because they could have drafted him. They could have flipped that pick themselves.
They were going to trade for A.J. Brown, but you say that, but you're not giving the context that they were going to have to pay him.
Oh yeah, because they ain't got that.
With what money?
You're right.
You
You're
can't
right.
pay
him.
You're right. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no money to pay him. Can't do that. Okay.
So am I supposed to take that out of the fact that you're still a loser because you can't do that?
Yes, you're putting an imaginary scenario into something that was never going to happen because it financially
I'm not trying to
possible.
Okay, no, I'm not trying to say that instead of trading that pick, you should have got AJ, or you should have tried harder to get AJ. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying that am I supposed to not hold that against you because of what your team did in order to put you in that situation to where you can't get AJ?
Oh, your financial
because
decision.
You would have to do that for the Falcons, for the Lions, everybody that drafted a wide receiver before the Eagles traded for AJ Brown. You would have to do that for all of them.
Oh no, and I definitely get that, and that's why I said I personally I'm not as high on Olave, I'm not as high on Penning, and I feel like if that's what the route that you wanted to get or the route that you wanted to go, did you necessarily have to trade up? But though obviously that's their guy, that's who they thought that that's their guy and who they wanted to get. So I understand it, but that's all I'm saying. I personally am not as high on them and what they traded to get as to
don't
what
get me
they
wrong.
probably could have.
I'm not on Penning either. You know.
Oh yeah. Yo, I know you're not. Yeah. And I'm just saying, I think they might have got more value for the picks if they went a different route. Maybe I feel like just for what happened.
So my thing is, I trust the Saints to develop offensive line. I very much do. There hasn't been an offensive lineman that they've drafted high recently that has not been a good player.
Caesar Root
sucks.
Good player. Good player.
He good.
He's a good player. Like they draft offensive linemen and they know what they're doing. And Penning was working with Duke Manyweather, who is one of the best offensive line outside of the NFL, of course. He holds offensive line camps. Guys like Slater, Becton, Evan Neal, guys like that work with Duke Manyweather.
For sure.
So I think Penning will. I still don't think he'll be like a great player, but will Penning be a quality starter for the Saints? Absolutely. I'm high on Olave. I don't get the. Okay.
I like
a lot of people, not including you, aren't as high on him because of his athletic traits and the fact that people say he was the third best wide receiver on Ohio State. For one, To me, no, he wasn't. He was better than Garrett Wilson. So to me, that don't track.
That's why I say arguably wide receiver 2. It
and it's
depends on how you
hilarious
do it.
because Don was about to say some funny shit.
He
Don
ain't
is the score touchdown guy. Olave got 98 damn touchdowns, and Don's like, oh shit, Garrett Wilson's better because he does herky jerky routes and shit. Don liked Garrett Wilson better for some reason. I don't know. But I was very high on Olave. He was my wide receiver 3. Yeah, he was my wide receiver 3. I think they did fine. I wouldn't have my only problem, and I agree with you with this, I wouldn't have traded up for him. I would have just let the board fall to me, and I'd have did it that way. But if he's your guy, and you think he is going to, and he compliments Michael Thomas very, very well.
That's why I think they did it. Personally, I think Olave's skill set is what fit New Orleans the best. So that's why they went up and got him, because that type of receiver is what they've been lacking for years. Right. So I get that one. The pen and pick.
I get it. They can develop offensive linemen very well.
I will say one thing. I get the picks. I do. I will say that one. I get the picks.
I just wish they went quarterback. I don't give a fuck what you say. Jameis Winston is not concrete. And if Jameis Winston goes down again or disappoints again, you have Ian Book. You have Ian Book.
Yeah. Oh God, why did you
did not think about plan B. You just went with plan A.
Okay, so my next question to that would be, what quarterback? Because there was one taken in the top 20, and the next one was the 79th pick. What quarterback? Yeah, and this is not a Saints team who's in rebuild.
Well, when you put it that way,
who are you going to pick? You were going to be, oh yeah, Desmond Ridder, come take.
Oh no. I know. I'm just saying, when you put it that way, it seems like you got a lot of options to pick between now and 79. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my question is, what option makes sense more than playing Jameis this year? And y'all clearly have seen.
Whoa. Oh yeah. Oh, well, I'm with you.
Y'all have seen the Saints have
playing Jameis.
Yeah, you played Jameis, and Jameis wasn't bad. So you probably re-up him again for another year after this year. What's stopping the Saints from trading up into the first round next year? What's stopping them?
Jameis taking them to the bowl? I don't know. Yeah.
What's stopping them? Like, there's nothing stopping them from potentially moving up again. They can get a quarterback.
Okay, I have a question. If Jameis gives you what you saw from when he was, healthy. Let's say, of course, I'm not going to say they go, he was like 5-6-0 before
he got 5-2 before he
got 5-2. I'm sorry, I said 5-0, 5-2. Let's say he goes the 17 games. Let's say he goes 12-5, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say he goes 12-5.
2-year deal, 20-year piece. Both.
You still drafting a quarterback next year?
Hell yeah, James is 32.
Yeah,
32, 33.
What quarterback you taking if you go 12-5?
You can trade.
It's a better class next year.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
It's a better class next year.
Teams do it every year. Well, not this year.
What team? Okay. And then if the quarterback class is so good, what team is trading back with New Orleans to get that?
A team that don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't think it's going to be a lot of teams that really.
If all these teams just passed on quarterbacks this year to draft them in the 4th and 5th rounds,
but think about it,
and then next year's class supposed to be like that, you really think that it's just the cycle going to repeat, and that people will like? I just don't think that
quarterbacks are.
I don't think that
they're in and out. Think about it this year. How many teams really needed a quarterback this year?
A lot.
Was it really a lot?
Well, okay, need. I will not.
Everybody drafted quarterbacks last year.
Okay, let me change the difference. Need and want. I think a lot of teams definitely need a quarterback. Want a quarterback? I think that's different because some teams just drafted a quarterback and they have to evaluate the guy still. So no, they don't necessarily want another quarterback,
and that leaves next year open.
So I will say that, yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm just so that a lot of guys are kind of. I'm kind of sold on the fact that since so many people weren't high on this draft class, and as we obviously saw, a lot of franchises weren't high on this draft class, that next year and how they were hyping it up and whatnot, unless guys just bomb completely, I think that guys, are really invested in their picks, or whoever really needs a quarterback is going to be invested in their pick if they got the top 10 pick.
And just because you need a quarterback don't mean you're going to draft one either. We've seen it every year. Every year, teams need quarterbacks, and the Panthers could have drafted Mac Jones or Justin Fields, but they thought J.C. Horn was the better player.
Listen, I don't know. No. They were the outlier. They were the outlier. Everybody else.
Giants needed a quarterback. Giants needed one. Eagles needed one.
They were sold on DJ. We ain't gonna talk about them. Hurts finally got his first year under this belt, and he took him to the playoffs. We ain't gonna worry about that.
That was this year. I'm talking about last year before Hurts made his first complete.
You gotta give him two. You gotta give your quarterbacks a fair.
If you think you got a better quarterback, you take them. That's how quarterbacks.
They believed in him, and you seen what happened, right?
They went to I stand with Hurts.
They went to the playoffs, yo. So they made the right call. Let me not say they made the right call.
If they would have had
for season, they made the right call.
Game. They might have beat the damn Bucks if they had a more talented thrower of the football. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of teams could say they would have beat the Bucks in the playoffs if they had a more talented quarterback. But we ain't gonna get into that.
Oh, here you go. Yeah,
we ain't gonna get into that.
So my biggest loser, well, not biggest, because I don't want to say that, because there's teams that didn't have first or second round picks, like the Dolphins and the Rams and the Raiders.
You grab Tyreek. Cool.
But I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Again,
I ain't like nothing that they did.
I have no clue what Steve Keim is doing. I don't. I really don't, bro. Your first pick, your first pick that you had, you traded it for a 5'10", 185-pound receiver who has never been top 20 at his position. You traded a first-round pick for that. Okay. He's your quarterback's guy, and you want to make sure your quarterback is happy and he stays after all the rumors this summer. Cool, I get it. Your first pick was Trey McBride, who I think is tight end 1. You did not, and when you're a team with as many holes as the Cardinals and as many questions as the Cardinals did with finishing games last year, a tight end cannot be your number 1 pick, bro. I'm sorry, it can't be. It can't. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Then you go Cam Thomas and Myjai Sanders, back-to-back edge rushers, right? They have nobody else to rush the passer, so I get it. I'm not a fan of Cam Thomas because I think he has an edges body type, like he's like 6'4", 260. But he plays better from the inside. I don't know how to value or evaluate guys like that. I really don't. Keontae Ingram in the 6th round, good running back. Ledekin Smith, good offensive guard. They drafted 3 edge rushers. Loketta, Myjai Sanders, Cam Thomas. The chances of any of those guys becoming actually good rotation players as of next year is very, very, very minuscule. When in the first round you could have drafted Karlaftis, Ebiketie, you could have drafted David Ajabo, man. You could have drafted any more even if Ajabo takes a year to get ready, you could have drafted him and stashed him until next year at least, bro. I have no clue what Steve Keim is doing, man. I just don't understand the philosophy. I don't understand the lack of taking premium positions high in the draft. I don't understand not getting another. I mean, I guess you got Hollywood, you got D-Hop, you got A.J. Green, you got Rondale Moore. So I guess you don't need another wide receiver, but you could have drafted anybody other than Trey McBride at, what's that, 55? I don't understand it, bro. Not one bit.
Donald, Ronald.
My loser, number 1, is got to be the Jacksonville Jaguars for sure.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
I don't know why you're surprised, brother.
No, I'm surprised. You was talking that cash about Trey.
Let him speak. Let him speak. I'm
go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't renege on the Devin Lloyd and the Muma or the Leo Chanel. I forgot who they got, but one of them. Don't renege.
All them other picks. What we doing? What are we doing? Okay, you went and got Trayvon, your edge. I get that. Cool. You traded up for Devin Lloyd. Free agency. You pay Olakun a lot of fucking money. But you just traded up for Devin Lloyd.
Find a class. Hold on.
Luke Fortner. I give that pick. I like that pick. I like that pick. They just lost their center. I like that pick. You go get another linebacker. And Chad Muma.
Yes, sir.
Who I think Chad Muma might be better than Devin Lloyd. He might be.
Whoa. I don't know. I like Chad Muma.
You want to get him started, yeah.
Chad Muma is a good coverage linebacker. So I can get with it. But guess what? You got another linebacker. Olakun, Lloyd, Muma.
That sounds like a good group. You gotta keep them around, yeah.
Who's blocking for Trevor Lawrence? You need depth, brother. You went and got Scherf. Congratulations. I commend you.
You got Scherf. You got Cam.
He don't care no more. I tell you, as a Commanders man, Scherf don't care no more. Especially he going to Jacksonville.
Boy got paid, son.
It seems to me like Trevor Lawrence still going to die.
Oh yes, sir.
Then you follow it up. You get a running back in Snoop Connor. Why?
Yeah, James Robinson. You did just draft one that you didn't use.
You drafted a guy last year, Trevor Etienne. Yeah. Why? So then you go get two cornerbacks. It ain't like you went and already had two cornerbacks for free agency, and you drafted a cornerback last year. So,
what school did this corner go to?
Listen,
Cheetah Baptist?
I don't even understand.
What the hell is that?
Right. Stu is the main one. Don't draft a player off the school. Don't draft him off the helmet.
I just didn't know that school existed. What the hell is that?
He a hooper. He a baller. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Before he got picked, did anybody look him up? Ain't nobody look him up before he got picked. You wouldn't even know to find that school's tape. I don't even think that school got tape. It's probably on the iPhone.
They got tape. Dane Brugler got him right here. I'm gonna read you an excerpt from Dane Brugler on Greg. His name is Gregory Jr.
They still on the chalkboard now.
This draft right here, it did not. I felt like if I'm seeing Trevor Lawrence run for his life. You went and got Scherf and stuff, but they need depth in the trenches on both sides very badly. Because one thing Jacksonville is always known to do is pay a lot of money to people. And once them people get paid and realize I'm in Florida, I won't play football as hard. That's just what it is. They didn't address depth, bro. I mean, they sure did at linebacker, I guess, but how impactful was that? How impactful was that? I just feel like this was like, this ain't gonna help Trevor Lawrence grow. It's not.
Let me tell you something. It's hard.
It's already been like your free agency with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones.
It's hard to establish it, yo. It's hard to establish your depth when you can't establish your starters. It's hard.
I say you can't have depth if you ain't got starters, nigga.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
You gotta start somewhere, man.
They don't have nowhere to start right now. So
okay,
and it still look like they not finding a place to start.
My problem with Don's problem with the draft is he loves Trayvon Walker, right? He loves Trayvon Walker.
That's my boy.
If you hop on Devin Lloyd's tape, Devin Lloyd has better edge rush reps. And he's mad at the Devin Lloyd pick. Are you shitting me right now, bro?
You think they're going to put him in the edge rush reps? You think they are?
Hell yes. That's like asking, would the Cowboys put Michael Parsons as edge rusher? Yes.
Well, he's not going to be man.
Michael was different, but
It was
Devin Lloyd has legit pass rush moves, like actual pass rush moves, bro. He's not just an off-ball linebacker. So I'm fine with the pick. My problem is you paid Olakun, you cut Miles Jack, and then you drafted Chad Muma, who again, good player. I think Chad Muma. I had Chad Muma higher than Nakobe Dean. Chad Muma was my linebacker too, my off-ball linebacker too. So I think he's a good player, and they got good value for him. What they drafted him at 70? They drafted him at 70. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really surprised to see Luke Fortner go before Darian Kennard. That shocked me, but Luke Fortner is a solid player. I think he'll step right in and start.
He got no choice. But
again, this has been my problem with a lot of these teams. Your wide receiver room is not good enough to neglect it during the draft. It's not good enough. Stop doing this, man. Every year, we see 3 or 4 wide receivers that get drafted after the 3rd and 4th round become extremely productive players in their first year. You have a rookie quarterback who had nobody to throw to last year. And all you did was add Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk. That's it? Like, you don't want to take a flyer on Bo Melton, on Danny Gray, on anybody else, on goddamn Alec Pierce, anybody. You don't want to take a flyer on them to help your quarterback. I just don't understand, man. But I have one more honorable mention before we get out of here. Let me find a draft class so I can make sure I'm not.
Oh, I know I do too.
Go on.
Where they at?
Learn me something new.
The Chicago Bears. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Chicago Bears. They drafted the first 2 picks were very good players. You know, y'all both know I really like Kyler Gordon.
They my boys.
Was a good player.
They ain't bro. They ain't hit where they needed to. Fuck all that.
Yeah, that's my.
The problem is they needed wide receiver help for the quarterback. They passed up on George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Mechie, guys like that. Velus Jones is a solid young player. And the word young, I'm taking that lightly because they're all young men. Velus Jones is 25 years old. He was at Tennessee or in college for 6 years and had 1 season over 300 yards. 1. And he was your 3rd pick, the 71st pick in the draft. He's older than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's been in the league for 3 years.
That's crazy.
You draft at 71. That is a 6th-round pick. Dog, I want to give Ryan Poles time to do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, I stand with black GMs, and it's his first draft. He upgraded the DB room because it was awful. Now you got Eddie Jackson that's falling off a cliff for real. He's not as good as he used to be. But you still got Jalen Johnson. You got Bell. What's his name? Victor Belfort. I think his name. I don't know.
Something like that. UFC fighter, boy.
No, what's his name, bro? God damn it. I forgot my man's name. But he got a cool name and he a good player. You got Jalen Johnson. They add Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker to that. So the secondary is a lot better. Who's rushing the passer for the Chicago Bears this year?
It's Quinn, but he finna leave.
He's finna go. And you know what they did to help that out? They drafted Dominique Robinson out of Miami of Ohio, who's very twitched up, very good athlete. He was a 5th-round pick. You expect him to come in and produce right away, bro? Seriously?
That's my issue. Yep, that's my issue. I think it went ass backwards for Chicago. My number 1 priority would be I drafted Justin Fields last year, and I watched him get smoked.
Go get a wide receiver or help him on the offensive line.
My wide receivers is Pringle and little Darnell Mooney.
Oh, no. They got Velus Jones. Mm-hmm. You better respect that 25-year-old.
Stink. All right, I don't care what Stu says about a good young man. He stinks. So you reached on him. You reached on him because he stunk. You didn't get O-line to the 5th round.
Braxton Jones, huh?
You could have switched that around. I would have went O-line first. Good quality. You had 39. You had 48. You had 71.
2 of those picks got to be towards helping your quarterback on the offensive side of the ball.
And you didn't do it. You ain't do that till pick 168. Didn't do it again till 186. Didn't do it again till 207 and 226. Those aren't guys that can play right away.
And shout out to Tyree Carter, HBCU guy.
Yeah, you need guys that can play right away because your O-line's not good, bro. And I don't even want to talk about the damn running back. What you get a running back for, dog?
Right.
Stop doing that.
I was not a fan of that at all, man.
This draft did not help Justin Fields at all.
I mean, I don't even want to say that.
I don't think it did. Unless one of these linemen turned into these a bunch of hidden gems in the late round.
Niggas turned into David Bakhtiari, didn't
he cooked, yo. He cooked.
Like right now, their starters on the offensive line consist of Tevin Jenkins, Larry Borum, Cody Whitehair. Like, come on, man. Like you have to do something that directly affects the offensive side of the ball to me. Now, getting a defense for your quarterback is very valuable, as you can look back at the Chargers season and you could see if the Chargers had an average defense, they'd have won 13 goddamn football games. But Justin Fields has nobody on that roster offensively.
Exactly. Nobody. It's terrible.
It's awful. So the Bears my last loser, man. That was bad.
Mm-hmm. Stink your head, boy.
I'm with you on that.
Just awful.
I'm glad we ain't hire Ryan Poles, boy. I almost wanted him.
Don't do that.
What is that smoke, boy?
All right, yo, that's another episode, though. That's a good episode right there. That little pie. That little mock. I said mock. We're not even doing mocks anymore. My bad. Draft recaps. Official 2022 NFL draft recap here at 3WayDeal.com. Make sure you get your shirts. Make sure you get your memorabilia. Get all your products. Get your shirts, your hats, your glasses, your socks, your hoodies, your shorts, your drawers, all that shit. Wristbands. Make sure you come shop 3WayDeal.com. It's up and running. Go check it right now.
Oh, please stop lying, everybody.
Shut the fuck up. 3WayDeal.com. Don?
That's disgusting, brother. Brother said wristbands like we're going to have a bunch of John Cena's around here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem, yo?
Well, look like people walked out of hospital messing with 3-way deal. So
you want to see a nigga with 2 wristbands? Yes, sir. I don't see
we saluting the troops. My bad.
Huh?
I thought we were saluting the troops.
Oh yeah. For Don.
That's more Don thing right there. I don't know.
That's Don's. His vantage point. His what's his demographic? There we go. Yeah.
I'm proud to be an American.
What you call it? The vantage point?
His demographic. My fault. I couldn't think of the word.
His people, yeah.
His followers are Ahmed and whatnot. My bad. But Stu, go ahead.
No, I love y'all, man. Everybody be safe out here. Don't do drugs. Don't talk to strangers.